Wondering what to do when a ward of the wickets wanders? Worry no longer, we've got your warrant. Let's do this. Hey friends, I'm Keely Dunn of FHumpires back with yet another hot take on one hockey rule. Today, we're working through what goalkeepers can and can't do outside the circle, when you're going to call a foul, and why. Rule 10 is where we begin. 10.1. A goalkeeper must not take part in the match outside the 23-meter area they are defending, except when taking a penalty stroke. Protective headgear must be worn by a goalkeeper at all times, except when taking a penalty stroke. 10.2. When the ball is inside the circle they are defending and they have their stick in their hand, A. Goalkeepers are permitted to use their stick, feet, kickers, legs, leg guards, or any other part of their body to deflect the ball over the back line or play the ball in any other direction. Goalkeepers are not permitted to conduct themselves in a manner which is dangerous to other players by taking advantage of the protective equipment that they wear. 10.4. When the ball is outside the circle they are defending, goalkeepers are only permitted to play the ball with their stick. Just for good measure, we'll cover Rule 4.4 because it gives color to Rule 10. 4.4. Goalkeepers must wear protective equipment comprising of at least headgear, leg guards, and kickers, except that the headgear and any hand protectors may be removed when taking a penalty stroke. The following are permitted for use by goalkeepers: body, upper arm, elbow, forearm, hand, thigh, and knee protectors, leg guards, and kickers. Here are the highlights I want you to pull out of these clauses. You've probably heard me say before that almost every hockey rule is aimed at reducing danger. These provisions are no exception, because the purpose behind defining what a goalkeeper wears, particularly a big fiberglass helmet with a metal cage and all this bulky protection that makes them significantly bigger than your average player. All of this equipment makes them a little bit dangerous to all the field players who can't wear any of it. We want to limit and control when players could come into contact with goalkeepers so that there aren't any surprises. That's part of the logic behind goalkeepers only using their sticks when they're outside the circle. Now, we don't have to be all mean and confine goalkeepers to a 15-meter semicircular area, but we don't want them going all crazy town all over the whole field either. So outside their circle, they're just like a field player and can't play the ball with their equipment and can only use their sticks. They lose their biggest advantage, which is pretty fair when you consider that outside the circle, a goal can't be scored anyway. So they're not stopping a shot and doing all those goalkeeper-y things when they're out there. Further, the guidance reinforces that they have to play with consideration of all that extra equipment and not put their opponents in danger, which could happen in any sort of collision. Here's a good example of a goalkeeper using only her stick to make a defensive play, and she does so safely.
Quickly, which they've managed to do, brought on a control superbly, and it's Katie Bam who's played it forward. Lynch came a long way.
The players needed to bring the ball to the help side. The USA bring it beautifully over to the help side, just a little bit ahead, some tired legs there, but Lynch fantastic there, comes out like the sweeper.
That defensive play element is where the next point I want to emphasize comes in. Goalkeepers can't play outside their 23-meter area at all unless they are attempting a penalty stroke. So here's a clip where the goalkeeper gets a little too eager to stop a breakaway, uses his stick to make the tackle, but does so well outside the 23-meter area.
And it's stolen by Malaysia, the goalkeeper coming out to make a stick save. He's outside the 23, the goalkeeper.
He can't go outside.
He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Imran Butt is being replaced. Mazhar Abbas.
You just heard the instructions from the umpire clarifying why. Goalkeeper can come out and play.
Now we can address what you should do when this happens. First off, we put a lot of responsibility on goalkeepers to know where their circle is. They always seem to know if a shot is being taken from outside of it, so we can expect them to control their bodies whenever they get close to the line. That means that in most circumstances, you can deem a goalkeeper using anything but their stick outside the circle as an intentional action. Not that they intended to foul, but they intended to be outside the circle and took the risk that they would foul in that process and break down the play. At the minimum, a penalty corner should be given if that foul occurs within the 23-meter area, and a card would be appropriate where a breakdown had a big effect on the game or where it had a physical element. Given the egregiousness of this particular breakdown that we just saw and the level of play, a 10-minute yellow card is appropriate, and that's what's given here. 5-minute yellows and green cards could be appropriate in different circumstances or at different levels of play. So make sure to take the consequences to the game and the relative professionalism of the players into account, but don't be put off holding them responsible either. Side note, cards are personal penalties and their suspensions must be served by the goalkeeper themselves, as we saw in episode 2 of Ruly Tuesday. I've put a link in the description, so go check that out for more. Did I wholly wind up wandering goal watchers? Witness your warrant in the available window, and if I could wheedle you to whip out a like, I'd be walking on air. Also, head to FHumpires.com/workshops and sign up for Player Proof Your PCs, where you'll get wise to a winning method to set pieces. FHU 3T members get a bonus penalty corner decision-making flowchart, and yellow members get a 50% discount. So sign up for the third team at FHU3T.com. What are you waiting for? Ciao for now.